everyone, and welcome back to Spectrum Talk. My name is Ruby Jones, and I'm here today with Devin Bowles, who will be appearing on stage at the Denver Center for Performing Arts Fuel Theater during the national touring production of MJ the Musical. Thank you so much for joining me today, Devin.
Thank y'all so much for having me. I'm so excited. Can't believe that I'm actually going to be in Denver for the first time with this show, with this role, with this extreme magical opportunity and this wonderful cast. And I'm excited. I can't wait to see what Denver has to offer.
Nice. So, your first time to Denver, you have a little bit of time to kind of explore and check out some new things. I hope you have fun while you're here.
I'm excited. I'm looking forward to touring around, going to see some nice like scenery spots and get the food and it's gonna be a good time. I can't wait.
Yeah, but I will warn you though, I know you probably heard the altitude can get to people, and I know you're going to probably be on stage huffing and puffing.
The
You got to give
altitude.
yourself time to
Yes,
acclimate.
the altitude is definitely going to be a little, a little challenge. We just left Salt Lake City, where that was our first experience of that type. But we know Denver's a little higher, so I'm excited to actually get in and start to feel it and adapt to it.
Nice. Well, like many, I'm a lifelong Michael Jackson fan. So I can't wait to see his career and music highlighted with this Tony Award winning musical portrayal. How does the Broadway musical experience capture Michael Jackson's remarkable journey? And what should audiences expect to see?
Oh my God, audiences are going to expect. Well, first of all, Michael Jackson is one of, if not the most prolific entertainer of all time. And so capturing that on stage and being able to see it on stage is going to be truly, truly spectacular. What the show is, it takes on 2 days prior to the Dangerous Tour. The Dangerous Tour is one of Michael Jackson's albums. And what we see his inner mind working to create ideas, to pitch ideas, what songs he's going to choose, his choreo, his blocking, what he wants to add, what he wants to take away. So we see his creative process in the span of 2 days. Uh,
Wow.
we get a chance to see flashbacks and what led him to decide what artistic journey he wants to go on, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, you're going to see hopefully all your favorites. I'm not going to say what songs you're going to see. You're going to see all your favorites. You're going to see all the iconic choreo. And most importantly, like if you hear a song you love, like get up and dance. We love that. We love the energy in the audience. So I can't wait for Denver's crowds to experience that firsthand.
Don't threaten me with a good time. You say get up and dance. I don't know.
No, have a good time. Have a great time.
Well, I think it's really cool to be able to kind of peek into the mind of a genius and see the inner
Yes.
workings of it.
And that's what it
But
is. Yeah.
now, my understanding is that you play Michael's notorious father, Joe Jackson. Is that right?
I do. I play Joe Jackson. I play Rob, who is some would say Michael's manager, a choreographer, a right-hand man. And then I also play Joe Jackson, who is Michael Jackson's father. Yeah.
Okay. Well, how did you prepare for that role? And is it a difficult one to play?
Preparing for that role was definitely artistically challenging, but at the same time, I lean my trust on my creatives. Lynn Nottage, who wrote our tremendous book, she really brings the text to life. She does a lot of the work for me. Um, she's a two-time Pulitzer-winning playwright. So we start there with the text, right? And then we also start, for me, is that Joe was human. Joe Jackson was a human man, and humans have many emotions and they
Yeah.
expose themselves differently throughout different scenes in this case, but in different phases of life. And so what we see Joe's and Michael's relationship. We see the highs and lows, the peaks and valleys, and we see all of that. And so playing this role was definitely getting to this point. And granted, it's constantly nurturing itself. The role is constantly evolving for me and my perspective on it. I'm constantly growing in it. But yeah, it's been a challenge, but a more healthy and growthful discovery on top of that.
That sounds really good. I'm a huge fan of Lynn Nottage. I've seen several of her plays here in Denver, and she's phenomenal. So I'm sure when it comes to really highlighting those highs and lows with that
Yes,
relationship, she really brings out some special things.
she's spectacular, and she's also just a wonderful person through and through. So I had the privilege of meeting her a handful of times, and she was actually in my auditions, which was
Oh,
which is crazy to
nerve-wracking.
think about. Yeah, yeah. But it was a good time. And like I said, she's done a lot of the work for not just for me, but for a lot of the other tremendous storytellers that I get to share the stage with.
Yeah. Well, cool. Now, Michael Jackson's popularity was unrivaled. And because of all the media coverage about him, I feel like, the general population feels like we know more about him than we actually do.
Mhm.
Are we going to learn anything new about Michael Jackson from this production? And are we going to get like a lot of insight into the man behind the music? I know we'll see like his creative process,
Yeah,
but do we explore kind of his inner thoughts and feelings and,
yeah.
maybe how difficult fame and popularity was for him or how much he loved it?
Yeah, we definitely get a chance to see, like you said earlier, his inner workings of his creative process. But you're also gonna get to see his relationship with his brothers, his relationship with certain songs he has, his relationship with his father. You're going to get to see his decision making when it comes to how he enters a room, how he demands a room. You're going to see all those things, and I'm happy that we get a chance to see Michael in this form in a more humanitarian like way. Um, yeah, so Michael is a three-dimensional guy, and we get a chance to see all the magic that he exudes in this 2.5 hour, 3 hour a piece of work.
Wow. That sounds like a lot of work though. 2.5, 3 hours on
Yeah,
stage.
but it's a good time. It's a good
Yeah.
time. It's a really good. I tell myself every night, every time I step on stage, this is an opportunity for me to grow my craft for whatever next, stay
Mm.
present and really do my best with the material that's in front of me.
Well, that's great. And this is your national tour debut, right?
This is my national tour principal debut. Yeah.
That's awesome. So I'm sure you're going to have so much fun just exploring new places, seeing new things. I
Yeah.
mean,
Have
that's
already,
cool.
and I can't wait to keep going.
Yeah. Well, speaking of, Michael's attention to his craft and his relationship with his songs and everything, we know that the King of Pop was a perfectionist and it
Mm.
came across in all of his performances. So, with everything being so on point, do you think the cast does a good job of matching that perfection on stage?
Yeah, I mean, granted, Michael was his own individual. And
Yeah.
so we would never be able to fully 100% um duplicate him in that way. But what I will say is that this cast is so ambitious. This cast is so driven. We're all so talented, and we exude our own senses of magic and energy with his material. So I do know from working on and off stage with the people who I share the stage with, we all are very passionate about this show, and we all love this show. We know the impact that Michael not only has on artistry, but culture and fashion in the music industry. And so we fully know and accept that. And we try our best to incorporate that on stage every single night, whether that be through dance, lyric, the scenes that Lynn has written. But yeah, Michael's mind and his work ethic and his standard that he set for himself and those who were around him, I think, is what separated him from a lot of people. It's funny because we've had the opportunity to work with Rich and Tone, who were their twins and their brothers, who were dancers with Michael Jackson, and they're on our creative aspect side. And it's funny how when they would tell stories about Michael, um, and they would work with artists today like Chris Brown and Lady Gaga and all these other tremendous artists. They all asked the brothers, "Give me that thing that Michael Jackson had," and he's like, "That thing's Michael. Like that's Michael. That
Yeah.
mentality, that work ethic, that drive, that perfectionist mental foundation state. Um,
Right.
it's just beautiful, and people can see it.
I'm so glad you said that because that was actually my follow-up question. I was going to
Yeah.
ask you if any of his original dancers were involved in the choreography or the production, itself and actually on stage dancing. So that's really
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. And one of our producers is Michael Jackson's estate, so we have the blessed great opportunity to have a sort of authenticity around our creative process.
Mm,
Working with those who knew Michael, working with those who worked with Michael, working with those who enjoyed and navigate life with Michael. I think it's very special to have that connection mentally whenever you're creating art that's based off of him. Uh,
yeah.
so it's a beautiful thing. Such a privilege to be able to be in the position and exude my artistry around those perspectives.
Well, tell me a little bit more about your artistry and your background. Did you start out as a musician, a dancer, or did you just have the acting bug?
I just, well, I will say right now, definitely not a dancer.
Okay.
I'm a mover. I'll give you a little a 1-2 combo. But no, my artistic bug started when I was in middle school. I always sang growing up, whether that be just in the house in front of my mom. But then as I got older, I started singing in choir in middle school. High school is when I started doing the high school theater productions, and that led to me solidifying that pursuit. I was like, I want to be able to pursue this. I want to grow this. Went to
Yeah.
college for it at Middle Tennessee State University. It's about 30 minutes from Nashville, downtown Nashville. So Nashville's like my second home. Um, Studied musical theater in college and then moved to New York. I graduated, and yeah, now we're here. But I've
Wow.
always had the passion to storytell. I think, and whether we label that as a singer or a mover or an actor, I've always wanted the storyteller. I love being in the position of telling a story through my perspective and the perspective God has given me. Like I love that. So, and plus I'm a Disney geek. I love the Disney animated lifestyle of living. I love that.
Yeah, well, that's really great. It's great that your drive, and persistence took you all the way from middle school to college and to, your post-collegiate career. And
Yes,
now you're on the road doing what you love. That's really
it's
a full circle, like I'm sure very fulfilling.
it's so full circle. It's such a just a blessed opportunity every single day. I just tell myself, Devin, get up, be better than yesterday, and we're here. And it'll show itself.
Yeah. Well, my last question for you is a
Yeah.
personal one.
Okay.
What's your favorite part of the production? Don't give anything away,
Oh yeah,
but
I'm,
if
I'm
you
not. I'm
had
not
to
gonna do
pick out a
that. I
favorite.
can't do that. I want the Denver friends to come and fully experience it themselves. So my favorite part about the show,
Mhm.
favorite part about the show, this is tough. This is tough because every aspect has been so wonderfully knit into each other. The transitions are beautiful, so it's tough. But if I had to just say one that stands out consistently 100% of the time, is the choreo, the choreography. We have some of the most respected, driven, ambitious dancers in this company, and I've never had the opportunity ever to be able to collaborate with them on this level in this way. And they're beautiful. Like if I could sit here and name them all off, I would. But every single one of them are tremendously talented. The show would not work without them. They deserve every flower, every petal, every hug. They're beautiful. And so I would say the dancers, the choreography. Yeah.
All right. Well, you're making it sound like a good time. So
It's a
everybody
beautiful
needs
time.
to get
Yeah.
tickets.
Yes.
Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today, Devin. I can't wait to see you on stage, loving what you do and
Thank you
doing what
so
you
much.
love.
I can't wait to meet you all. And I'm so excited for y'all to get a chance to see this beautiful piece of art. So let's do it.
Yeah. And make sure you have a great time in Denver while you're here. There's so much to see. I'm
Ah,
sure you're going to have a fun time. You're going to fall in love with Denver.
I
I
cannot
don't
wait.
know.
I cannot wait.
Well, everyone, MJ the Musical will be playing at Denver's Buell Theater from April 10th through the 28th. And I encourage everyone to come out to experience the signature sound and movement of one of history's most talented musicians and iconic entertainers of all time. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.